a common identity with your classmates and the identity that the university itself carries.
Ju sot festoni marrjen e diplomës. Pa dashur t'ju ul entuziazmin, me leoni t'ju them se çdo ditë e jetës suaj pasaj ka për të qenë një diplomim më vetë.
Today you are celebrating your graduation, but I'd like to point that from today on, it will be a celebration.
Diploma është vetë shapi I parë I arritur me sukses që dëshmon se ju keni aftësinë të përballeni ndjenësisht me konkurrencë që asin në jetën e përditshme.
Having achieved this degree successfully only shows that you are capable of dealing with life in the future.
Megjithatë, duhet lini këtë institucion duke u ndjer shumë të sigurt në vetvete. Jo vetëm se sot dëshmoni që dini të përballoni sfidat drejtësisht, por mbi të gjitha, pasi sot keni dëshmuar se keni hedhur bazat e një përvetësimi efektiv të dijeve.
You should leave this University of New York feeling confident about your own abilities, because you not only have achieved good academic results, but you have improved as individuals.
E them këtë pasi të kesh një diplomë universiteti është një kredencial I mirë, por të kesh perfeksionuar aftësinë për të përvetësuar sistematikisht dijen, është një vlerë që do të shërbej në tërë jetën tuaj.
I'm saying this because having earned a university degree is obviously a good credential. However, having earned the knowledge from that university is obviously more important.
Çdo ditë do të jetë një diplomim I vogël pasi të keni kaluar me sukses të gjitha peripecitë dhe sfidat që jeta pambaremisht do të vëjë përballë jush.
Every day from now on will be a mini graduation once you pass the obstacles that life will have ahead of you.
Një përshëndetje të veçantë dua t'ju rezervoj të diplomuarve të programit masterit në administrim biznesi.
Special greetings for the MBA students.
Është vështirë të drejtohesh një grupi si ju me fjalë frymëzuese apo inkurajuese për të ardhmen, pasi me aftësitë tuaja të dëshmuara që më parë në jetën profesionale, por dhe sot me kurorëzimin në këtë ceremoni, në një arritje tjetër, keni demonstruar dhe një herë se dini vërtet të jeni fitues në çdo sfidë.
It is difficult to talk to you with encouraging words because you've already showed by your abilities, working and studying at the same time, that you are capable of much.
Dhe ditët që jetojmë sot dhe vitet para nesh, janë padyshim vitet të sfidave tepër të mëdha, për çdo individ, por dhe për tërë shoqërinë shqiptare në tërësi.
Days that we are living, but also the ones that will follow, are obviously somewhat difficult days for our society.
Individ suksesit, si kundërini ju, janë tepër të nevojshëm për vendin, sidomos për të arritur ato suksese nga të cilat përfitojmë të gjithë.
Successful individuals like yourself are very important for this country, especially if you come with those abilities that are useful not just for yourself but for everybody.
Ju uroj të jeni gjithmonë kështu, kurajoz dhe fitues.
I hope you will always be like this, courageous and winners.
Një urim të veçantë dua të bëj për stafin akademik, për vetë rektorin e universitetit, dhe mendoj që kurorëzimi I suksesit nëpërmjet diplomimit tuaj sot është pjesë edhe e suksesit dhe shpërblimit të mundit tyre.
And special greetings for the faculty and the rector of the university, because the achievements you have reached today is also a fruit of their own work.
Dhe së fundi, në formë përshëndetje, dua të sjell këtu para jush mendimin e një njeriu që ka lënë gjurmë në arritjet madhështore të atij vendi që përfaqëson dhe vetë universiteti juaj, të Benjamin Franklin.
And finally, I would like to say the words of a man that has left words in academia in general, Benjamin Franklin.
Mendimi I tij ka një vlerë të përjetshme dhe I thënë thjesht dhe me vërtetësi të madhe. Investimi në dije është I vetmi që paguan interesin më të lartë.
His saying is simple, but it has a lot of meaning. Investment in knowledge is the one with highest rate of return.
Ju përgëzoj përzemërsisht për arritjen tuaj dhe uroj suksese në rrugën e gëzimit të fruteve të këtij investimi të madh me shumë fitim që ju do të keni bërë.
Our next guest speaker has distinguished himself in European-American relations. He is a specialist in European Union affairs. Recently, he was economic counselor at the U.S. mission to the EU. As a U.S. Embassy diplomat, he has had the privilege to work in The Hague during the Dutch EU presidency and the Maastricht Treaty. Also, he worked in Finland when they held the EU presidency, a time when the Finnish president was mediating with Milosevic over the removal of Serbian troops from Kosovo. Currently, he holds the position of Deputy Chief of Mission here at the U.S. Embassy in Toronto. It is with great respect that I invite our guest speaker to the podium, Mr. Steve Christina.
Faleminderit, Zoti Pashko, Minister Ruli, pedagog, të ftuar, të diplomuar. Është një kënaqësi e veçantë por dhe privilegj të filloj punën time në Shqipëri në një ceremoni si kjo. Është një kënaqësi sepse besoj fort në të ardhmen tuaj dhe të Shqipërisë. Është një privilegj sepse është ceremonia e parë e diplomimit në këtë universitet. Tani, ju lutem të më lejoni të flas anglisht. Tonight belongs to you graduates, yours to celebrate with your friends and your families the hard work and the success that you've had over the past few years. So I'll try to be brief. I would like to make 3 different observations. First, what you have in your hands now, today, July 8th, 2006. Second, the challenges you face tomorrow and in the near future. And third, some of my observations about how you might approach those challenges. 15 years ago, when all of you were very young children, this country, your Albania, was under a cruel communist dictatorship, isolated from the rest of the world. Today, you have democracy, and you enjoy freedoms that your parents could only dream of. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, you're free to move wherever you want, and you're free to follow your own interests and your own desires. This is a gift from those who went before you. But it's more than a gift. It imposes on you tremendous responsibility for yourselves and your families. Democracy is like a garden that, when well cultivated, produces fruit for you, your children, and your children's children. But if left neglected, becomes a deserted, abandoned land, difficult to revive. This democracy, this is probably the first challenge for you, to face this challenge, to be able to maintain this democracy and to pass it off to future generations. Democracy, unlike isolated dictatorships, brings new challenges, challenges that all democracies, mature democracies like those in the United States and in Western Europe, as well as in new democracies. The first challenge, perhaps, is poverty, dealing with the questions of poverty here. To deal with poverty, you need to create jobs. To create jobs, you need to create business. To create business, you need investment. And to have investment, you have to convince Albanian and foreign investors to put their money here. This is a serious challenge for you, the new generation. The second challenge that all democracies face is the challenge of security. Security for your people. Freedom from the threats of organized crime and international terrorism. This requires increased cooperation among police. It requires professionalism amongst the police. The third challenge that democracies must face is the challenge of global competition. None of us is free from this. We cannot return to the times when we were all isolated, and certainly Albania does not want to return to isolation. But this requires education. This requires training. Those are some of the challenges that we democracies face together. But there are challenges that Albania faces, particularly. Albania has hopes to become a member of the European Union, to become a member of NATO. And we support your aspirations. The United States is doing very much to help you prepare yourself to move forward in this direction. We have programs that help entrepreneurship. We have programs that help increase professionalism in the judicial system. We have programs that help improve the quality of law enforcement. So I want you to know that even though you are a young democracy who faces some challenges, you're not alone in the world. We are here to help as well. Now finally, I would like to say a few words about things that perhaps you can do as new graduates. I've spoken a bit about how democracy frees the individual and imposes responsibility on the individual, but that's just the beginning. You are a privileged few. You have received an education from the University of New York in Toronto. There are very few people who can claim that. With that privilege comes a great responsibility to your fellow citizens. Now, last week when I was asked to give a speech here, I took a look at the graduating class and the subjects that you studied, and it's quite remarkable. It's quite wide range of subjects, and if you'll excuse me, I'd like to go through them and say what I see as the things you can do to help your country and to help your fellow citizens. I noticed that there are graduates in psychology. You can help improve mental health. You can help improve and encourage people and increase attitudes here towards democracy. Communication. Professional journalism is the lifeblood of a democracy. Sharing information with the public is one of the most important ways to keep democracy alive, to pass it to the next generation. Business administration, how necessary that is. You can help streamline and improve startup businesses here in Albania. Management, you can increase the effectiveness of businesses that already exist and help even government agencies make themselves more efficient. And who can forget computer science? As we face the challenges of the 21st century, as we face global competition, it's going to be ever more important to take advantage of the high-tech capabilities we have to increase our productivity. Finance. We need to improve the abilities of companies to access capital and also to use capital when they've accrued it. Marketing. That's a very good one. Those of you who are graduates in marketing will be able to sell Albania and Albanian products to the outer world. I have to say, I've been here only 6 days, and I'm very impressed with your country and with the energy I see in the small businesses and the friendliness amongst the people. You have a great product to sell, and I hope you will. And finally, last but not least, international relations. That's a special one for me because I work in it. It's very important in a democracy, and those of you who have graduated in international relations, I hope that you will use your talents to develop cooperation between your country and other democracies, because it's only by cooperating amongst ourselves that we can defeat the scourges of the 21st century, organized crime, trafficking in people, terrorism, and poverty. Now, finally, I would just like to say one thing. You've all worked very hard. I hope tonight you have a very good time with your family and your friends. Urime.
Although many of us have not had an opportunity to know him, our next speaker has been an integral part of UNYT since our school's beginning. As president of Empire State College, he is responsible for smoothly running 35 New York State locations, an online learning network, and 5 international schools, including our own. Leadership like his is what cultivates an impressive school image and is what makes our graduates so proud to hold an Empire State College degree. Tonight, he has come to join in your celebration as the first graduating class. Please welcome to the podium to make the graduation address, Dr. Joseph Moore.
Thank you. Honored guests,